got onto a seaplane that was parked, so it's definitely not New Zealand. We can lock that one in.
Didn't Indiana Jones do that?
Yeah, he did. I don't know whether the plane would have made it that far. All right, let's get into the draft. I'll stop trying to geo-guess this guy, as the Varus still going to be banned away. Since I was casting, which was on that 6-game hallucination that we had on Sunday, we've had a new patch. Has much changed?
A little bit, honestly, in terms of the draft priority. Varus and Orianna have kind of stayed as the permabans, but we've been seeing more Karma and Rumble being left open, more picks getting banned out. You know, the Ezreal coming in as a ban in this situation, maybe to set up for a potential Jarvan, but that gets banned too.
Yeah.
Cassio, Lucian, I think are picks that have really risen in priority, not specifically from the latest patch, but just gradually as teams start to adjust.
I feel like Deathfire Touch certainly did put the Cassiopeia on everyone's radar.
Yeah.
The Lee Sin, something that I heard you discussing earlier on today with a potential special reveal guest that we might have on the show today. Make sure you stick around for after this particular game, as that is going to be very, very exciting. I know a lot of you like to go to the bathroom in between games. Hold it.
Yeah, just hold it.
Or just take your phone or something. That's totally fine as well.
So yeah, we see kind of following the trend. It's not always a thing, but the Karma Rumble being more likely to be left up. The Lee Sin ban, it has been buffed with the changes to its safeguard.
Yep.
And
you can also kick corpses at people.
True.
Which I think is sinister
and very
kind of cool.
But also Pyosik just pretty spectacular on that. And it's going to be the Prio on the Cassiopeia coming out, which, as we said, we've seen rising with the Deathfire Touch. There's still Karma available. There's still Rumble.
It's ironic that you say that it's Rising, because Rising is not very effective against it.
No.
That's fun.
I don't think Clozer is going to take that into it.
No, well, the Rumble is going to be banned away, theoretically, a mid-flex. Haha, thanks, Chovy. As Pyosik, let's see what he's going to be locking away here. The Yone and the Rumble already just locked in.
That's a lot of team fighting power. This kind of is reminiscent of the HLE composition where they just had a lot of tools to dive in and get on top of threats. The Cassiopeia, normally pretty good against melee champions. It's going to be a bit of a tough lane, getting harassed down. But even though she has the miasma and the ultimate, Yone can just ult you from such a distance away that you can't really deal with effectively. Now, it is going to be Zhao coming through. And then the Cassante into Rumble. We've been seeing that more and more. This is honestly kind of why we've seen the Rumble left open a bit more, is a lot of people have been appreciating the Cassante with the changes. With Doran's Helm coming in and then getting buffed, a bit more bearable, that lane matchup.
Ooh, this is so fun. As we have, the true barbecue, where you actually get to hold them over the coals.
Yeah, it's pretty effective. A lot of team fighting power, and if Zhao goes in, you can just grab him and hold him.
And there is a rotational cooking method over coals that I could have said and decided not to, because I thought before I spoke. Are you proud of me, Ox? It's one of the first times I've done that.
I am.
The Skarner is going to be locked away, and we will have Nautilus being banned, as I think we are looking for some enchanters on the DN Super side.
Yeah, there's still so much available in the bot lane. Normally, we don't get no bot laners picked by the time we get to the second rotation of bans, and only 280 carries have been taken out so far. There's still your Lucian Milio. There's still your Ashe Seraphine. There's still your Nara, Lulu. There's just a lot of options. Bard as well. Andil's been pretty spectacular on the Bard. We've seen the Bard have a lot of impact. And they're not going to ban it away. Ashe Seraphine gone. Yunara Lulu gone. Nautilus gone.
I feel like Bard is just such a safe lock-in if they do want to take that.
That being said, DNS have first priority after the bans,
that's true.
So they could take it as a denial. And honestly, with that composition, I know someone on the desk with me isn't a huge fan of Jhin, but you could go like a Jhin Bard to follow up on all that engage. You do have a lot of other damage sources.
Yeah.
You're not really going to be lacking.
I feel like for the DN Supers composition, they'd be very happy to go with the Jhin, because the bottom lane is not really going to be the main focus of this one. Ziggs is also going to be banned following the same vein, right? As you already have the Yone for physical damage, and Ziggs can just nope out of the lane. However, they have locked in the Lucian, so looking to take care of the earlier stages of the game.
Honestly, it was a bit surprising that they opted to leave the Lucian open and instead ban the Ziggs. Maybe just worried about the dive threat of DNS with the Ziggs on top. Now, for the side of Kiwoom DRX, do you deny the Milio? Or do you just go Bard plus you already carry a choice. Looking at the Caitlyn right now, Caitlyn Bard could be pretty strong. Going for the MF in this situation. We've seen MF prior, Ryan, a decent amount. There was like game from Gumayushi where he got like double quadra kills and had a ton of kills, ton of damage. So they'll pick up the MF in this situation. And they'll take the Bard as well for Andil. And it is just going to be Lucian Milio in response. So a pretty strong lane with the MF Bard. But it might be a little tricky consistently get those ults off when you're playing into a Skarner and a Yone, who have a lot of threat. Even just the Rumble. If he drops an equalizer on you, can you stand there and channel your ultimate?
Yeah,
might be tough.
Sure about that. Could be a little bit of a difficulty, but if everybody else is able to distract, then LazyFeel might be able to find an angle because there are a lot of low-range champions on the DN Super side.
Yeah.
So in theory, there could be a melee erupting in these team fights, and LazyFeel could be able to capitalize. But I think that so much rests on his shoulders for making this misfortune work and getting these bullet times in the right spot. Because otherwise, it's a pretty nice front-to-back composition here for KRX, and I think it works nicely into a comp that is a little bit less range. I know Milio can buff up the range of the Lucian, but is still a relatively low-range carry, and so I think that could work out relatively effectively here. Both of these compositions feeling scary, which is exactly what we want.
Yeah.
When it's a Rise group battle like this, the DN Supers newly invigorated with that OG roster back, the one that actually performed quite well in the LCK Cup. We know what these players are capable of, just something went missing in the first round robin and most of the second round robin as well, and they really want to get some wins on the board. And against the only team they've been able to consistently beat throughout this year, this could be the way to change that momentum. But Kiwoom DRX, they could also just say, look, we're not losing to you either, and be able to pick up a win here and keep stringing those losses together for the DN Supers. This is a big one between these two blue teams. Let's get into the rift. All right, these fan chants are unhinged today. What is going on? I love it. It's a little bit of extra vibes in the air, Aux.
I feel like we've seen so much support for DNS, despite the tough record. The fans just cheering for them super loud, hoping they'll be able to get
It's the Shanghai Dragons effect.
Yeah.
It's what we like to call it. If you lose for long enough, people like you more for it. As deokdam's going to get exhausted.
Yeah,
already.
Oh, this is interesting. They've gotten the Ignite as well for Andil, so good at mitigating the healing from the summoner spell, but also just for the Milio. The Exhaust, we've seen that tech a little bit into the Lucian, because obviously he's quite burst focused and always really going to be in range. Expectation is that LazyFeel and Andil will have pressure in this 2v2, but always have to be a little bit cautious of the burst potential of the Lucian Milio. I do think that on the bot side of the map in general, Kiwoom DRX have some really strong lanes. The Cassiopeia into the Yone as well is a tough time for him. But...
Oh, a little bit of action here as Cosmic Binding does go wide. Andil does pick up his cup of cocoa, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, never mind! The flash forward, and it's going to be Peter locking away first blood in the 2v2.
The big factor in this was Peter held his heal in that early trade, obviously not wanting to use it when the Ignite's gone down. But it's not just the extra health, but the movement speed allows you to chase down your target. And the thing with the Bard is that you don't have reliable CC. They have to be against a minion or a champion or terrain. And if the Lucian's dashing on you, you just don't have great recourse. MF also not the most sustained damage as an AD carry. You obviously have that initial auto with the passive that does a lot of damage. But after that, didn't really have the follow-through. So great play from deokdam, and Peter looking to be back in some solid form after seeing those two paired up again.
Yeah, and it's pretty devastating here as well as a result. As you can see it one more time, Cosmic Binding missing is important as well as that heal. And Clozer might just be dead as well, as Kiwoom DRX will be taking down the Yone. That will answer that bottom lane kill. And Ucal on the board. This is first pick priority on the Cassiopeia, and it's looking like it's well placed.
Yeah, I mean, offering the extra damage to a Cassiopeia, which can already be a bit of a tough lane for Yone. The main thing that gates the Cassiopeia is typically mana, but Ucal's going to get a recall now, going to be able to buy. And just the extra Deathfire touch, the fact it syncs so well with the... oh, they're going for a gang.
Magical journey to come on through here as Peter gets slowed down, but Willa takes the majority of the damage. DNS just playing very defensively and are not caught off guard.
Yeah, able to disengage. But yeah, so the Cassiopeia, you can see the runes there. Deathfire Touch, Scorch, and Cut Down is a ton of damage in those runes. And it's very hard to lane up against, especially as Deathfire Touch syncs so well with your damage over time on your poisons, but also your Twin Fang applies it for 4 seconds. See a replay of this. Clozer already pretty low on HP. Uses the Unbound Soul.
Yeah.
And then not a ton you can do after that.
Yep, Andil happily tanks up the turret there as well, just to make sure that Ucal was going to be safe. As Clozer going to snap back to that soul. Miasma not going to stop that one from happening, as nothing does. And now Andil taking a bit of damage here towards his bottom side as another Ignite does go down. deokdam down to about 250, but LazyFeel also looking a little bit rough. Finds the flash kill, and now Peter could be in trouble. LazyFeel down to about 50 health as he looks to try and run away, and Peter wants to throw out the fire kick, but does not quite find an angle.
Yeah, even if it hit Andil, who was blocking, it bounces afterwards, so it could have still hit LazyFeel, but he picks up the Coco, gets the heal, and is able to walk away. Actually, don't think he's running that skin with the
No, he's not. It's the carrier skin, which I find more difficult to explain.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a rough one, but that's all right. We are going to have a look at the replay from this last little battle.
I said the stun, not super reliable from the Bard, but Andil connects it onto the minions. The Ignite comes down, which is reducing that healing for the Milio, and there LazyFeel with a great flash to dodge the Mega Fire Kick. It was a close one, if we're being honest, but able to get the kill back.
Whoa! More fighting. It's now Pyosik is just going to drive Willer into the wall. Andil almost just dies to the collateral damage from the rock. And we got a fight in the top side as well. I mean, I don't think we're allowed to have replays. I think Wolf would be very upset as, misses the Q. As Rich not quite able to find it there, but really is making this Cassante look like a counterpick.
Yeah. So far as well, we've seen this a lot with the early Doran's Helm and then double No Magic Mantle. So much magic resist early on. Often got him flinching as well. And then every time the Rumble slows you, you get extra resists.
Yep.
The Harpoon hits, and you just have so much magic resist. DuDu's gone for Fair Strike, which is something we've seen a decent amount. It was something Keen was doing a lot to generate called Oh No Pyosik.
Oh.
He sent something.
He did, but LazyFeel is going to make his way over. Pyosik is able to make it out to safety, not baited by the crab this time.
An enticing Scuttle Crab, but he backs away, doesn't get caught out by that.
It was like too enticing. So, it's going to be a slight lead here for Kiwoom DRX, but honestly, this has been some serious Rise Group babies. Okay, the Wind Becomes Lightning will tag deokdam, but does do a lot of damage to Andil on his way out.
Yeah, they're trying to force this play, but every time Peter and deokdam are really far away from terrain. It's not easy to set up. The Xin Zhao doesn't have Snap CC. You need to get your Q stacked up, and it's a Lucian who just dashes away. So they're trying to find angles, but deokdam and Peter avoiding it so far. That Ignite back up again right now, but deokdam does have his barrier. There's the heal for Peter this time.
Looking to go aggressive here just a little bit, but LazyFeel just wanders away.
I think one
the Drake will be taken.
Is the early build from Misfortune. We've obviously seen that Bloodthirster rush, and it does mean that it makes it a lot harder to 100-0 the Misfortune, and you kind of sustain through your poke. Oh, Raptor's gone there. Pyosik will grab it and drive away over the wall.
Yep, and it's also really sad that your Wind Becomes Lightning is now just used on the air, so you get your time wasted a little bit more than it should have been, which is a little bit of a shame. As DuDu comes on over, grabs himself a plate, and Rich is able to help lock this one down. I feel like as soon as you get Spectre's Cal in this matchup, it's just kind of over. Like, the Rumble doesn't do damage anymore.
Yeah, Koenig Rukin, though, is where it's really just...
Oh, yeah, true.
It's so pointless.
Yeah. Andil once again looking for an angle, but Clozer charges up the Q, and Andil is going to miss the Cosmic Binding.
Yeah, don't think there's really too much of an angle there, but he's fishing. And what you want to do on a Bard is be proactive, find angles to move.
Yeah, Rich once again looking for a little bit of a angle here. Charges up the Q, doesn't find it onto DuDu, who just desperately tries to do damage. This is before those two things that Aux and I were talking about have come through. As bullet time onto deokdam. The barrier is going to help him soak up a fair bit of that damage, but the double up really causing some harm to this Lucian. Pyosik really wants to take his Krugs, so he's going to stick on over there, but deokdam looking a little worse for wear now.
Yeah, LazyFeel finding a great angle for the bounce, but now Pyosik's coming.
Yeah, looking for LazyFeel here as he does get stunned. Andil on the defense. We'll just soak the boulder and back away.
It definitely helps when he's coming out of terrain that you can just stun him against it. Does set you up pretty well for that one. Pyosik might be looking again, though.
A little bit of a rotation over, but Andil going to have that back stopped, but that looks to be all that he's going to suffer at the moment. Full vision here as Willer is moving down with Ucal in tow, but Clozer is able to follow as they've both cleared out that mid wave. And I feel like this game has calmed down more than it has the entirety for the rest of it in the last couple of minutes.
Okay, the recall didn't get stopped. I thought it was good for a second there as LazyFeel was trying to let the wave catch against the minions.
Should I check in to see whether anyone's figured out where is 10,000 kilometers away from Seoul?
Be my guest.
Yeah, I'll ask. If anyone did get the confirmation, please let me know. I haven't been paying attention to chat over the last little while because there was too much action within the game. But let me know. If anyone did figure it out, just chuck it in, and I'd love to read it out. It's okay. A little bit of a setup here in the mid lane as Peter and Andil both rotating over, but I don't think we're getting too much more. I got a no, so I guess no. I guess we just had no one figured it out. There it is.
It's beyond our capabilities.
Yeah, another guy's like, what the heck is a kilometer? So now just very confused. Oh dear. That's why you got to do it yourself. So maybe I should figure it out in the break. That's all right. LazyFeel.
Wait, wouldn't the fact he said 10,000 kilometers be an answer in and of itself?
Well, we don't know where the 10,000 kilometers...
No, but if he was American, wouldn't he...
Oh, right, yes. Well, we know that the person who we're trying to find isn't American, but the person that didn't know what a kilometer was might have been. That's what I assume.
Yeah, but, I mean, I guess even if you're Aussie but you're living in America, you might not... You'd probably still use... I mean, yeah, you'd probably still use 10,000 kilometers.
Yeah. The only other thing that I can see from chat is that Atlus and Lucian have the same hairstyle. I'm glad you noticed my new dreadlocks, which I think Lucian does have. Like cornrows, right?
In this skin or in general?
Just in general. Thought he did.
Trying to look at the splash out, but his hair gets kind of cut off.
Yeah, it's a little bit cut off. I don't know whether we really do, but that's fine. That's enough. I'm glad that we had a little bit of a bout with chat for a moment. Now let's get back to the game. About 200 gold. 300 gold is the lead here for the DN Supers. Nothing really to write home about, as Kiwoom DRX did manage to get the first dragon. And they do have the coveted Cassiopeia, as we can see here, doing some damage.
For me, what feels positive for the DN Supers is the lanes have gone pretty okay. I know we got that... Okay, I said that. Yeah,
we're going to flash in, as that is a beautiful stun. deokdam, yeah, he has the barrier, but that is not going to keep him alive. And Willer swiftly dispatches of the Lucian.
Well, that's going to be a lot of extra gold. LazyFeel getting a plate, also that kill picked up. I was saying that the lanes have generally gone okay. The Lucian Milio is doing all right. The Yone has done pretty good into Cassiopeia. Basically, even in farm, is a good position to be in. And you have a lot of team fighting power, so that could have been enough. But a proactive play on the bot side does push Kiwoom DRX a decent margin ahead on the back of that. And now they're trying to set up this dragon. Would be their second. Ucal gets chunked out already, which isn't ideal, though.
No, not fantastic. Does manage to complete his quest, though. That's some super fast boots that a snake is somehow wearing. Please let me know where. All right, deokdam and DNS will just be able to take down this dragon. It looks like we're going to be one apiece at this point in the game. No fight out of Kiwoom DRX, which I think is wise. As you mentioned already, Ucal really did want to get a little bit of a reset, and it was only a Chemtech soul because Aux is here next to me, paying attention, obviously. Yeah. Well, there is some champions. We'll get a decent amount of benefit from it. LazyFeel has his Bloodthirst have completed already, so I feel like one of the things we see from Lucian that he's very good at, Lucian Milio or Lucian Nami, is once you set up your bot lane around mid, so hard to contest mid prior when you can just dash in, put the burst down, threaten anyone away. MF is one of the better champions at matching into that, because you have the sustain for the Bloodthirster. If he does trade aggressively onto you, as long as you don't die, you can heal up off the next wave. And you have a lot of burst damage. If you have that shield already available, you can actually trade pretty heavily with the Lucian. You can also clear waves whenever you'd like to with the bullet time in a pinch, which can be pretty helpful with wrestling back some tempo if you do lose it. So I don't mind the idea.
I do think that Kiwoom DRX moving that bot lane towards mid would go a long way. Having the Bard in the middle of the map as well obviously means he's free to go where he pleases. You have a lot of Fierce Titan completions coming in. That Koenig Rukin we were talking about, completed by Rich, so he's having a much better time, even though he's already doing fine in that matchup.
Yep, you might see it as, 600 and 700 gold lead or something like that, but Rich is doing fine. It's just being struck first over and over again by the money printer that is the Rumble in this lane.
For now, they're just keeping their bot lane bot, trying to have pressure on Clozer, who as a melee champion have the most fun clearing waves here, but does pose a lot of threat if LazyFeel steps up, especially as Pyosik is nearby.
Yeah, I haven't seen an Impale out of Pyosik just yet, and it looks like we're not going to just yet either.
Yeah, not many ults used at this point of the game.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fighting, but not a lot of fighting post-6, which is kind of funny. Rod of Ages is on the way for Ucal, though, going to be getting to that pretty quickly.
Has it just been Andil is the only one who threw down?
Yeah.
And LazyFeel as well had an ult earlier.
Right, there we go. Yeah, we did. And we did see deokdam throw out his ult over and over again. DuDu also had thrown down a few equalizers thus far, but not really in team fights is what we're sort of saying, as he used another one just to clear out the wave. deokdam dealing with the miasma, which can be frustrating for a Lucian, but doing so just fine with the help of Peter. Good to see this bottom lane reunited once again. It looks like DNS are somewhat reinvigorated, but we're yet to see what it's going to do for the later game and the decision-making around that, which has been a bit of a problem for this squad.
So they now move that bot lane up to mid for Kiwoom DRX. And they're wanting to contest this Herald. Cassiopeia did just TP in. They are going for the TP. They're committing.
Yep, looking for a little bit of an angle here as Ucal on the top side. They're going to try and turn it on him. The Fate Seal does come in. There's the turnaround as Ucal keeps himself alive. The bullet time not doing the most, but it does keep them at bay. As now Willa is going to get pulled by Pyosik, but it's not exactly the target he was looking for. DuDu is going to get cut down as it's a 1-for-1 thus far. And now Pyosik, yeah, he's just dead. That's going to be Ucal locking down that kill as well. 2-0-0 for the Cassiopeia as the eye, I believe, was picked up by someone, or never mind. It just went away.
Yeah, didn't manage to grab it. And fortunately losing out in the fight. So we see DNS able to secure this. They recognize the Cassiopeia, a bit of a threat on the backline, but a target they can engage onto, but Ucal dodges away from the ult from the Yone, stuns the Yone and then turns it around. The bullet time forces DNS away, and Pyosik grabs Willa and takes it with him, and Willa's like, cool, I'll just, thank you.
It kind of looked like Willa was the one that was impaling Pyosik.
Yeah.
Because I think he would have moved there if he could have. Not exactly ideal, so not exactly the greatest team fight either for the DN Supers, which is kind of what we were alluding to just moments before.
Yeah, we really wanted them to be decisive, be the ones engaging, and didn't really find a window to do so. Obviously, they tried on a Ucal, and then they were just kind of on the back foot from that point onwards. So, potentially looking for a better setup going forward.
Yeah, I want to bring us back to something relevant, as it is confirmed that Queenstown in New Zealand is approximately 10,000 kilometers away. So that could have been where it was from. Hobart, 9,800. So a little bit of a different story there, but close enough maybe. If we're rounding to the closest 10,000.
That's what we need to know. Was he a rounder or not?
Yeah. The closest 10,000 is, I mean, that could be anything from like 5,001 though, couldn't it? So that's
like how precise are we getting?
Yeah. We need to just find him. We need to find him and interview him.
Did he find a runway exactly 10,000 kilometers away? And that's what qualifies. Yeah. Did he ask the pilot to take a little detour just to amp up to 10,000?
These are all of the questions that we need.
Or was he like, it was actually 6,000, but close enough. We'll round up to 10.
Yeah.
Those are the two extremes. Somewhere between that, I imagine.
Yeah. But I think there's some pretty good sleuth work being done. So thank you, those in chat that were able to open up another browser window. It's okay. DN Supers do manage to take down this top outer turret. Kiwoom DRX will be collecting themselves a dragon here. as the cross map did come on through. So money's still in favor of Kiwoom DRX though after that last team fight, and with this Cassiopeia being as strong as she is, and with the fact that LazyFeel picked up a couple of kills, couple of assists so far this game, he is looking devastating right now in this Misfortune. 30 CS lead, has the Collector now, and this is going to be a difficult later game here for the DN Supers.
I think the person who's really struggling right now is deokdam. Obviously behind in gold, but Lucian, you want to be ahead of the curve, you want to be able to be proactive. If he dashes in, there's so many threats to his short range that he has to be concerned about. Tempered Fate, apparently not one of them.
Nope.
Oh, blue buff stolen there by Willa.
Damn, that Wind Becomes Lightning does a fair bit of damage.
Yeah. I will say, though, the MF being so strong means that if you dash in as a Lucian, you can just get exploded. There's so much damage that can come out from Ucal and LazyFeel that you're concerned about. So, not the most fun game for deokdam in this situation. And I'll have to come down, really. I think the team's setting up a good engage so he can just clean up kills.
Yeah, it needs to be about DuDu, Clozer, and Pyosik getting all of their R buttons in the right position, right?
Yeah,
As deokdam takes so much damage.
LazyFeel's 2 levels up on him.
Yeah.
And just kind of detonated him there with the auto attack and the Q. Didn't quite take him down, but that's so much damage. It feels really hard for deokdam to contest mid-prio now, which is usually the strong point of the Lucian. So now it allows Andil and Willa to push in aggressively here, and Pyosik can't do a ton.
So he lost his blue buff. He just lost his Raptor Camp. Now Willa is looking to take away his red as well. Is there anything that Pyosik is allowed to have? Well, he has Smite, so he probably should be able to have this red buff. That will be secured. deokdam grabs his version of it as well. As Clozer teleports towards his top side, trying to deal with Ucal, who just puts down the miasma, makes the Yone a little bit frustrated. This turret is not long for the world, though.
And Ucal at the point where with Seraphs and Rod of Ages not fully stacked, but feels bulky enough where it's pretty difficult for Clozer to step up and force to engage. A lot of damage as well for this Cassiopeia at this point. Definitely feels like DNS are looking for that window back into the game right now.
Really are. Well, Rich taking a fair bit of damage here. Leandri's is now completed. In fact, 2 items for DuDu have been done. So Rich taking a fair bit from this Rumble that's actually able to start cutting him down.
Yeah, having the Bloodletters and the Leandris for the Shred and the percentage HP burn doing a lot. Normally, as we said earlier, the Koenig Rukin is kind of the point where the Dante is just chilling in this matchup, but DuDu continuing to put the pressure on.
As, speaking of pressure, bullet time does actually come out here from LazyFeel, who just stood his ground against deokdam, was able to survive, and now Bloodthirst are doing a bunch of work like you were about.
That's the problem, is that LazyFeel is just going to heal up of the next couple of waves. deokdam isn't. I mean, he has red buff, he has some sustain from the Milio, but not an ideal circumstance when LazyFeel's already back to full HP.
And he has exactly a 2-level advantage. Like, we often talk about 2-level advantages, and then the other guy like levels up, and you're like, it's not really. This is full-on 2-level advantage. It's crazy. You can see it here. deokdam well and truly behind LazyFeel at the moment, and it's not really working out for the Lucian so far. I do still stand by what we were saying in the draft, where it's not really going to be about deokdam as the game goes on. He'll be largely about cleanup, and DuDu, Pyosik, and Clozer are the ones that really need to land everything together to set up sort of the barbecue wombo combo. But if the Lucian is a non-factor and LazyFeel's massive, then it really can start to become more of a problem.
I think that's the thing, is that Misfortune, even when you're behind, the ult does quite a lot of damage. But I think when you're ahead, your autos are just so threatening as well that you don't really need to commit to your ult to make your team fighting work. You just play around the extra movement speed from your strut, the fact that you're almost like an AD carry bruiser with the Bloodthirster and the played steel caps and the level advantage. Not the easiest target to take down. If they don't connect CC on the LazyFeel, he can kind of just skirt around the fight and just heal up as he's dishing out huge damage. So,
and oftentimes, like, you want to be as like a Rumble or a Yone, like if you find the AD carry, you want to just kind of single them out and kill them.
Yeah.
He's got exhaust.
Yeah.
So it'll be even more difficult. Oh dear. Well, DNS now looking for a little bit of an angle here as Tempered Fate is going to connect onto only Peter, as now Pyosik in that front line, but the bullet time is going to do so much work. Equalizer goes down though, that's going to dissuade LazyFeel, who takes so much damage there. Pyosik finally will fall though, as there's the sealed fate from Clozer, but it's just going to soften them up. The flash out from DuDu as Rich looking to bounce on over. Let's see whether DuDu can do anything of this. And the answer is no, as we're going to pause the game momentarily. All right, so it's, I believe, a little bit of a client issue, and I think that Willow was also suffering from it as well. And so we are probably just going to turn it off and on again. Sky, do you ever read?
No.
I remember mine.
Oh, no, actually I do. I do. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it was a Tryndamere guide.
Oh?
Because I came from World of Warcraft. I saw the Sandra. I was like, she's like a frost mage. I'll play her. And then a Tryndamere wrecked me. So I'm like, okay, I'm playing him. He's like a warrior.
And he's also a frosty warrior too, which is cool.
And then I found a guide that said to build like Feral Flare. That was a thing back then, I think.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I was playing him in the lane, and my friend was like, that's a jungle item. What are you doing? You can't make that mistake anymore.
Yeah.
But, you know, it served me well. I ended up playing a game against some other players and got 2 pentakills, and that was my introduction to League of Legends.
Wow, not bad. Let's have a look at the replay here before we get into more stories from back in the day.
Willa finds a great angle to deokdam, and the miasma is just suffocating for the Lucian. Even though the equalizer comes in, it's just an equalizer on its own. You look at LazyFeel and Ucal's health, it did a lot of damage. The equalizer was solid placement, but by itself, it's not getting kills. The follow-up wasn't there. And I think it just feels a bit frustrating because you think if there'd been a Yone ult or a Impale on top of that, that could have been a one team fight for DNS. The setup wasn't there, and now 5,000 gold down, it's looking pretty tough.
Yeah, Soul Point as well for Kiwoom DRX. Looking like they're feeling very comfortable off the back of their incredibly strong AD carry. Not to mention the fact that Ucal is having a very good game alongside Willa. Kiwoom DRX, the core is looking strong. My first guide was a Cat Arena guide.
Yeah.
And do you know what I was told to do? I had to build Magi's every game. Every game, no matter what.
It sounds like a great guide.
And the guide actually said, like, mathematically, this is the best thing to do, even if you're inting. It, like, tried to justify
it. No. I love that. It's still true to this day, because the best time to buy Magi's is not when you have 10 kills.
No.
It's when you have 0
It's when you're
kills.
about to get 10 kills.
Yes, exactly, to get the stacks.
Exactly. As Pyosik's going to get tempered, faded, and will get knocked up. Takes a few Twin Fangs as the Impale is mainly used to dissuade them from walking at him. And they say, all right, and they don't walk at him. Do you know what the next 2 items were?
Hit me.
Sword of the Occult.
Oh my
and
God.
Leviathan.
Oh my God.
If you're going to do it, you may as well do it. Just to remind everyone that wasn't playing a million years ago, Sword of the Occult was Magi's, but for AD, and Leviathan was Magi's, but for health. And so you just get all of them.
That's beautiful, honestly.
And that's full build.
That is such a coin flip build, Feast of Famine, and you know what? I can't disagree with it.
You know what my win rate on Cat Arena was?
Hit me.
Not very high. Let's just say that. I was like, why do I do nothing at all times? It was because I didn't have any stacks.
Okay,
all right.
This is a pretty good set of bouncers here with the Xante and the Cassiopeia. It's very hard to approach.
Oh, okay. Ucal also going to throw an ulti away as there's the fade. Clozer finds the angle, gets the knockups with the Q as well, but the bullet time is just obliterating them. Down will go Pyosik, and DuDu is going to follow suit. They couldn't get to LazyFeel, so he killed them all.
Ultimately, in this situation, we finally get an engage coming out from DNS, but the gold deficit is pretty massive at this point. And as you said, Ucal and LazyFeel, Ucal got hit, but still had flash, still had more in the tank. LazyFeel didn't even get touched. Big ult comes out in return. He still had summoners as well available.
Oh man, I know the Mad Movie title for this one. It's 404 Misfortune Not Found in the team fight. LazyFeel killed them all. What do you reckon?
You should pitch that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll have a chat to production about it.
So they're playing Bouncer here. Ucal ends up committing the ult, and that's kind of the go signal for DNS. With that down, with the miasma down, they look for this engage here, and they connect onto some good targets, but LazyFeel's untouched in this situation, and eventually gets to channel this massive ult that Rich helps set up. DuDu goes down as well.
And DuDu didn't hit the equalizer onto LazyFeel, and he just got to stand there. And now Rich is a brick wall. Ucal pushing down, the Baron in hand still here for Kiwoom DRX. Only Andil missed out on that one. And the DN Supers reeling one more time. 8,000 gold is the lead.
Yeah,
and
it looks
it's
like
been so linear from the early game.
I thought DuDu was taking a really long flank here, but he's actually just hanging out in the enemy jungle.
I mean, it still could be a really long flank.
I mean, it could be an even longer flank than I thought was a long flank.
He might be flanking the blue buff. As Fateseo does come on in, is Ucal in a lot of trouble, actually, but...
Okay, he's still
goes
moving.
out does must go back. Does must go back, okay.
Okay, the flank is happening. It's been a long time. He's going to look for it. The recall's coming in from the Cassiopeia. Okay, the Cassiopeia is gone.
Hang on.
We're still waiting on this flank.
Oh. Could he get Andil? Oh, no!
He's
scryed! Oh, it's a disaster.
Oh, no.
It's an absolute disaster.
He's so dead.
Yeah, the Tempered Fate goes down, and now DuDu is just dead. I mean, he could have emoted at least.
I wanted to see what the flank was going to be. I wanted to see it come out. Maybe he was trying to get in that position for the dragon that was coming up. Maybe that was the game plan.
Oh, Ucal's following the guide. He's got the Magi's. Nailed it.
Yeah, yes.
All right, Clozer going to go for it once again, but the Petrifying Gaze is going to come on through, and Ucal is pretty scary.
Well, I think chances of contesting this Chemtech Soul were already low, but after that, it's just gone. 10,000 gold lead for Kiwoom DRX here, and Chemtech Soul in pocket. It's a pretty good position to be in this game.
Yeah, I would say that it's somewhat positive. If Kiwoom DRX, 10,000 gold is... Yeah, the surmountability is low. I mean, this could be time for the heroic comeback for the DN Supers, but I think thinking about what to do in game number 2 could be a good one.
I think part of the problem is that even the last fight they had around Baron, they didn't get Ucal and LazyFeel's flashes. So they still have those available. You can see Andil's and Rich's are coming up soon. But when you go in for those big engages in the back of a Yone, you want those summoners to be down. I think at this point, you just got to look for it. You got to look for a fight. It's either that or you just wait 5 minutes for Elder, but I think the game might be done by that point.
Yeah, and now you've got no DuDu for this defense. As Ucal does take a little bit of rock damage. LazyFeel gets knocked up, but without a Rumble here to drop an Equalizer on top of him, backing up CC can be difficult. As Rich taking some damage, I think. Tempered Fate connects onto 2, and now the bullet time is set up. A Clozer finds the knock-up, gets the Fate sealed into the back line, but the Equalizer, it was not there.
Yeah, Equalizer wasn't on top of the Fate sealed, and LazyFeel wasn't hit by it.
It was a doormat, but they were inside the house.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like.
And once again, LazyFeel isn't connected onto. It was Rich and Willa who got hit there, and they're targets that I think even if you had dropped the Equalizer on top of them, I just don't think they would have cared that much. They would have been like, oh, it's a little bit toasty.
Yeah. Well, subpar, we could say. And the gold lead has only increased. We're going to have a look at this one more time.
So they have to try and go for the play. It's hard to find the windows. You see the bottle comes out to set up this, but then look, Clozer doesn't actually connect the ult onto LazyFeel. And as you said, the Equalizer not synced with it. So LazyFeel just kind of continues as is. And once again, I think the real problem with this situation is they didn't get any summoners. They didn't get any flashes. I mean, they got the exhaust, but that's whatever. You really need to be bidding these flashes if you want to have a chance of contesting either this Baron or Elder. But I think if you go into those and you Yone ult and it gets flashed, you just lose.
Yeah.
100% lose. It's over. The game is gone. You're that far behind. Everything has to connect onto these key targets. And if you're Kiwoom DRX, you're never even going to need to start the Elder Dragon. You just force DNS out their base to contest you and you kill them.
Yeah, it's just that simple. Right now, I mean, looking at these gold leads, like the individual leads, it's just kind of revolting as Clozer is going to get in on top of LazyFeel and does manage to help get the kill. He will go down as a result as the Tempered Fate is going to get flashed, but now Rich looking for an angle. Pyosik is going to move him away, but maybe Pyosik's the one that's now just going to be eaten by Kiwoom DRX. The dash cannon from Ucal. Mega Cone does get Pyosik to safety. Valdez is waiting on the space, ready to get very upset about it.
Okay, this is actually big for DNS. Unfortunately, they did burn a lot of flashes themselves, but they got LazyFeel's flash, which is something they can capitalize on if they're trying to fight these next objectives. Unfortunately, they had to burn a lot to get out. But I still think it's a positive play. You got a lot of gold as well on the back of that.
Getting a shutdown, very important.
Clozer finds an angle with the Mega Engage Cone and just commits to the play. And with the amount of damage and gold that LazyFeel has, it's a hard 1v1. deokdam has to clean it up, but then getting away afterwards, they have to flash to get out of the Tempered Fate. You get the ult from Peter to get some more distance.
Okay, Rich is going to get hit by Pyosik, but it's not exactly the ideal target. Couple get picked up by the Impale, but he was stunned, gets pulled back, and now it's a dead Skarner, and Willer is going in, looking for deokdam here. They want to try and get the damage back as he does get the audacious charge and just kills the Lucian. Peter now running for the hills, DuDu in trouble as well as these Twin Fangs are cutting him to shreds. Ucal does need to come back over to get that last Noxious Blast, but that will be a dead DuDu, and now it's just Clozer and Peter left alive to try and defend this base.
They're just too strong right now. Kiwoom DRX so far ahead, and they catch out Pyosik, and the rest of the dominoes fall. 2 players alive to try and keep their base intact, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think so either. LazyFeel at full health, looking to get rid of these Nexus turrets. In goes Clozer for one last-ditch effort, but he gets bullet-timed, and down will go the Yone. And yeah, Peter is just one fire kick in a dream. And without a Nexus, that will be the end of this one. Kiwoom DRX do manage to take down the DN Supers this time, even though they have been defeated by them a couple of times so far this season. It is not going to be the case today, at least